Welcome to Talk About It Tuesdays with G Spot. I am Bo Black, and with me, as always, is the beautiful Lady G. What up, G?
What up, Bo? Joining us and returning to us today, we have Brother Michael Berkley, 33rd degree, 33rd, baby. Mason in the house. He's here to talk to us about numerology and to give us a rundown on some of the information that he has discovered over the last couple of months. So let me get this whole party started. Make sure y'all chime into the chat. Oh, there's some feedback right there. Amen. Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, so y'all are tuned in to Talk About It Tuesdays. You're at the G Spot.
Hey.
Bo Black in the house.
Always black every week.
Bed-Stuy.
Every day, all the way.
So
numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie.
No, they don't.
Mathematics, good and or evil. So Berkley, walk us through this.
Right. So what I found is, me being a numerologist, I had two questions that was going on in Milwaukee. One was, why was the DNC coming to Milwaukee in 2020? And why does President Trump keep coming to Milwaukee? So it was two questions. And what I did is I started looking at a science in which I practice, which is numerology. And as you can tell, numerology, as far as on the PowerPoint says, is a number system, represents universal principles of progression, the art and science of understanding spiritual significance. Every letter, word, which includes the name, has a vibration, and every number has an inner meaning. So with numerology, what people are used to is they get their numerology charts done, sort of like astrology. So in this practice, what we use, or one of the systems that we use, is the rule of 9, which is, again, a number system. And the Europeans, which I call the Euros, say it's from Pythagoras. But the studies in the book that I co-authored in 2008 found out that it really comes from the African Akmos papyrus. So in this system, what we call the natural numbers 1 through 9, and compound numbers are 10 and above. And what we do is we reduce it, so 1 plus 0 equals 1, and 4 plus 3 equals 7 out of 43. And then they have what's your master numbers.
11, 22, 33, 44. Okay. All right.
So the master numbers, what this is it takes, if you have the base number, right, 1, 43, these numbers right here take it to the next level. So as you see, 11 is the master inspirer, 22 is the master builder, 33 is the master teacher, 44 is the master of structure, and 55 is the master of innovation. And those pretty much all I'm gonna talk about.
Oh, okay.
So here we had the alphabet. With numerology, you have the number and alphabet equivalent. So what happened was, in history, we find that before 1611, there were 23 letters in the alphabet. During the King James Version Bible, they added 3 more letters, the JPV, which made it 26. So as you see on there, I put 2 plus 3 equals 5, and 2 plus 6 equals 8. And this is what the chart actually looks like when we use it. So you see it's 9 columns. A letter fits somewhere within those 9 columns. This might make people upset, but Africans gifted Europeans with the science of 7. So when Europeans, they always talk about 7 as being the highest number that they actually practice, which is their spiritual perfection. With this number, you might find people that speaking the truth, healers, preachers, authors, lawyers, psychics, and magicians. That's the main thing. Remember that word magician, because this is where we'll end up going. You'll see the 7 mysteries, the 7 laws of Hermes, the 7 days of creation. The frontal lobe develops at the age of 7, so very important to understand numbers. 7 liberal arts and sciences. This is one thing that one of the studies that we have in Freemasonry in one of our degrees. If you go back and look at Cambridge University, if you go study their early history, their bachelor's degree, they had rhetoric, the grammar, the logic. The master's degree was science, arithmetic, geometry, music, and astronomy. Arithmetic is what I consider to be numerology. Geometry, if you look at the Masonic emblem, they have the G. Some people say it's geometry, some people say it's God, right? Before the 20th century, people or men of influence studied geometry. Then you got music, which is the vibrations, and astronomy, which is the last science, which most people call astrology and most people look at. So with music, you have the vibrations, usually goes to the 8th octave. In astrology, you just have the different practices of astrology. Now this right here, William Shakespeare. Recently, a lot of people have been talking about Amelia Bassano as his ghostwriter, or was he black? And when I look at stuff like this, and this is how I come to understand what I'm researching, it's not so much to me if he's black, but that he's using black sciences, right? And that's one thing that a lot of us don't correlate or can't correlate or haven't done the research to be able to correlate, is that the white man got his information from black folks, sister, brother, whoever. So this is a little information for people that read books, especially this book is like thick. Manly P. Hall, who was a 33rd degree, in his book, The Secret Teachings of All Ages, he said that William Shakespeare is really Sir Francis Bacon, who was the Rosicrucian Grand Master. All right. Bacon is the one that influenced the so-called founding fathers and early philosophers. Now this is where we're gonna, I'm about to make some Christians mad, but they'd be all right.
Shout out to the Christians.
All right, according to biblical history, Shakespeare was one of the 46 translators of the King James Version Bible. Somebody came up, they found out that his name was coded in the King James Version Bible. Psalms 46. Psalms, if you use the chart that I showed, equals 17. 17 plus 46 equals 63. 63 plus 6 plus 3 equals 9. 46 words from the top, you'll find shake, and 46 words from the bottom, you'll find spirit. Oh, never mind.
No. Here we go, y'all. We improvise.
So one thing in geometry is that we hear about the 47th problem of Euclid, right? Or that could be the master number 4 plus 7, 11. So me as a Freemason, when I see 11, I automatically think about 2 pillars. Because one thing, one of the rituals that we go through, we actually walk through a pillar. So when I see the number 11, the first thing I'm thinking about, these cats talking about initiation. And so with the Bible, it's a lot of initiations going down within the Bible. And there's a lot of hidden codes and stuff. And, people, I'm usually like, hold on, wait, don't slam the Bible yet. Mm-hmm. Until we start looking at these codes that the Africans gave the Europeans, that the Europeans coded within the King James Version. You can't use just any Bible. You have to go to the King James Version Bible. If you look at the K is the 11th letter in the alphabet. The V is the 22nd letter in the alphabet. It's like a 45-degree angle, and some people, you know, might be standing on a square or something like that. The J is the 10th letter. That's one of the letters that were added, and that represents the Wheel of Fortune. So you're going between the KJV, just right there is telling you that you're going between, in a ritual, going through 11, and you're trying to get to 22, which is the master builder. And one thing Masons call themselves as a master builder. And so you'll see the K, or the Bible, might not be the KJV, but should be the KJV up on the altar within the Masonic Lodge.
Okay.
This is one of the codings just to show how the Bible is coded. Genesis 1:1 to 2:2. Early master numbers were 11, 22, and 33.
I think I'm an 11, by the way.
You look like you're 11. So Genesis equals 33 if you do the addition of letters, which is the master teacher of master lesson. In between Genesis 1:1 and 2:2, there are 33 verses. Genesis 2:2 talks about the 7 day of creation. And remember, I just talked about the 7 days of being the Europeans' number of perfection.
Mm-hmm. Mysteries.
If you remove the colons from 1:1 and 2:2, you get 11 and 22. The master number is 11, 22, and 33 are right there. Quick master lesson. Genesis 1:27, 1 plus 27 is 28. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So it's 7, 7, 7, 7. If you look at words like Egypt, the G, Y, P, all three of those are 7s. The E is a 5. The T is a 2. So 5 plus 2 equals 7. So it's 7, 7, 7, 7. Swastika, if you look at the symbol, how it's shaped as 4 7s. All right, master lesson. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them.
What does that mean?
All right, go down one.
Oh, okay.
So if you look at this verse, you can see there's a distinct difference between the word man and male. All right, the word man in the Hebrew tongue is Adam, and the word male is Sakar. And I remember one time running into a Jewish guy, and he had the emblem Sakar on his necklace. And I was like, so what does that mean? He was like, Sakar, it means to remember. And he just flipped out, right? They take this stuff serious.
Sankofa means to remember and recall too. Swahili.
Mm-hmm.
Genesis 5:2. And this is all coding. All right, we're gonna start decoding this stuff. We got serious problems coming up soon. Genesis 5:2. 5 plus 2 equals 7. Again, that's the way their perfection. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called them Adam in the day when they were created. Somebody can say, well, that's the last name. You know darn well they didn't have any last names back then, because Adam, what it represents, it means the human being. Mm-hmm. So when you read man, right, M-A-N, mm-hmm. they're talking about a human being. So they didn't say who was created first.
Mm. Okay. In terms of genders. Okay, here we go. Okay.
So what do we call both genders?
Hermaphrodite.
Thanks.
Is that what we call them, Bo?
That's what we do call them, hermaphrodites. Yeah, a little bit of both, not enough of either. But keep going.
So I was taught to break down words. This isn't syllables, but you just break down certain words. So when I was looking at it, I was like, okay, hermaphrodite. Herm, and the PH, you change it for F. You got Afro. In the Semitic languages, something that was called Nick Cannon just got hit on right. But Semitic languages, you take out the vowel, so you got DT. So it's really Hermes, the African deity, who is Tahuti or thought.
Oh, wow.
thought, mind sciences. We know 2021 is a number 5, so we're coming into a serious time where expansion of the mind. If you up on who you are, you're gonna be in a good place. If you're not, you should probably find out who you are. So let's get into 2020.
2020, baby.
2020 been a month, but yeah, 2020. Come on, break it down.
So you got 2020 can be broken down in numerology in several ways. The normal way is 2 + 0 + 2 + 0 = 4. Another way it could be 20 + 20, which is 40. 4 represents the stability. It's another word I can't think of right now, but organization, sorry, stability and organization. So if you remove the zeros, you have the master number 22, which is a hidden number. Remember this number. Very important to remember this number. All right, again, master builder. It represents the hidden magician. All right.
So now we're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Right.
With the master builder.
And this is the one thing that,
Woo.
right, if you're in your city, if you see something going on, you might want to, check out certain things in your area.
Do your numbers, boo. Do your numbers.
Do your numbers.
Wisconsin has 9 letters. If you add the letters up, they equal 44. 44 is the master of structure. Established in 1848. 1 + 8 + 4 + 8 = 21. 21 is related to the crown of the Magi. You might have heard about the Magi if you studied or learned something in church. The Magi were the ones that went and gave Jesus the presents. Right? It's very important.
Wow.
Milwaukee, 9 letters, which equal 37. In all, there are 18 letters. 37 + 44 = 81, or straight reflection. 18 letters, 81. Milwaukee equals 37. You have another numerology style called the Chaldean numerology. They also use it in the Bible. We wrote in one book that Abraham is from Ur, from Chaldea. So they were talking about it in the Bible. This style is called they use what they call the royal star system, which are 4 different elements or 4 different entities: the Leo, the bull, the man, and the earth. In the Bible, you might find it as Leo, what's that, Revelation 4:7 and Ezekiel 1:10, was it lion, the ox, the man, and they'll say eagle. And the only difference between earth and eagle is a 7. So eagle is 777 or 21, and earth is 7777, 28. Milwaukee is under the royal star of the bull. So in the bull is the constellation of Taurus. And Taurus is the Aldebaran star. So the star that's in his hand is Aldebaran. Most of us know that as being the Orion star constellation and Osiris. So that's Aldebaran in his hand, the brightest star.
Oh, Aldebaran means the brightest.
No, that's the name of the star.
Oh, the name of it. Okay. You learning.
So going back to the bull's eye, which represents focus, and the bull's horns, which brings the 2 worlds together, like spiritual, physical, right? And this is like, if you go down to Lake Michigan, they got a spot that's straight, a bull's eye and the bull's horn. In order to bring in a new cycle, they have to kill the bulls.
This would be like the Aquarian age, or like how they have these different ages that come in so often. The Mayans predicted it in a different kind of spiritual way.
Yeah. So the bull has to die, right? So what's been going on in Milwaukee? What's been going on in Wisconsin? 3 black males drowned, in the current at the Bull site of Lake Michigan. One was 19 years old. He died 7/18/2020. 7 plus 18 is 25, which is 7. We already know 2020 is magical number 22. So what I'm telling y'all is they doing rituals. 14 and a 50-year-old died 8/8/2020. 8 plus 8 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. Kenosha, failed attempt. They shot the brother Jacob Blake, who was 29 years old. 2 plus 9 is 11. The vowels in his name is 13. The consonant in his name is 13. It happened on 8/23/2012. He was shot 7 times by Officer Rustin She's Key. What is She's Key? She's Key is the universal powers. 8, numerology represents infinity, God, or karma. So if you have the number 8, when you do something, it's going to good or bad, it's going to come back at you quick. 23 represents the royal star, the Leo. You also have at the lake, you have a section that looks like the Sphinx. Going back to, think about basketball, Jordan, 23, LeBron. The reason that they were pushing Jordan because that represents that you're going to make a lot of money. So the NBA knew that they were going to make a lot of money off these two people.
Royal star, absolutely. Wow.
You know? And 13 in the Christian mysteries means manifesting universal principles on earth. Again, the bull's horn bringing the two worlds together. Milwaukee 37, Kenosha 28. Again, 777. 37 plus 28 is 65, and 65 is the royal star of the earth. So what they're doing is with these royal stars, normal astrology pulls from the planets and sun and the moon. They're pulling from the actual star constellations, right? They're doing a serious ritual. When I say they're doing a serious ritual, they're doing a serious ritual.
Now, when you say they, who do you think they is?
And we'll get to that.
Okay. We're going to get to that, y'all. But wait, what? A ritual?
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going with the...
That's what I'm saying. Wait, what?
Yeah. What?
So the ritual is what they're trying to do is they're trying to put the crown on. What crown? Again, the crown of the Magi, the magician. 21, 777. We go down. This is 777. We actually have entered 2021 as far as the fiscal year. I'll talk about
Fiscal is financial for mine. Other people.
So the crown of Magi is aligned with the certain star constellation in the northern hemisphere, called the.
But not the virus.
So we got the little guy. Born 6/14/1946. 6 plus 14 is 20. 1 plus 9 plus 4 plus 6 is 20. 2020 vision.
Ooh.
The hidden magician.
Mm.
Fiscal year 2021 came in October 1st. 10 plus 1 equals 11. They announced my man had coronavirus on the 1st. 20 represents the reawakening or the awakening in old numerology. And the 21 again is the crown of the Magi. So who else is trying to put on his crown? All right, one more slide. That's it. So now I just want to tell you the story as it was told by Dr. Malachi York. And what happened was I couldn't put the puzzle together all the way. And I wake up one day and I got this video on YouTube, and it's Dr. York talking about this story that made me reminded me of the story. The devil child being born 6/6/1966. All right.
A Gemini. Who would have fucking thought?
I would have.
Bo's a Gemini, everyone.
Of course I am.
The little terrors. So what is this? What does this mean? Who was born on 6/6?
Right.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people were born on 6/6/1966. They're probably little badasses and they got that devil child thing stuck on them too, huh?
So according to the story, how it was told to us, there were 6 children born on this day around the United States. I mean, around the world. This child, the main child, but they say that the cat say that the priest in the 1960s was rich. I'll bring it out there. Child turns 30, 1979. They call that the year of the child. All this is going on in New York.
New York,
well, as far as the year the child was around.
Sure. I'm along for the ride.
And so
everything happens in New York.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
So according to the story, there's 3 computers called IBM 3666. Let me go over here real quick. Hope I can write it.
Yeah, he got visual age, y'all.
If you remember this, there was 2 movies that came out called Odyssey 2000 and The Demolition Man, and it was a computer that ran everything. The computer was called Halo.
A little bigger, probably.
Can't see that.
Not too much. Can you see that, Bo?
No, the light actually washes it out a bit.
Okay.
You write it a little bit bigger, but
Yeah, maybe a little bigger. We got flipping things too.
So anyway, so H letter after H is I, A, B, M is L. All right. So now we're going back to numerology. 1966.
You gotta use the big part of Michael Berkley. The fat point.
You see it?
yeah, I can see that. That's much better.
Okay. You see that, Bo?
Yep.
All right. 66 in the house, baby.
19
Just let me know when we get to 69.
equals 22.
It's the G spot.
You know?
It is the G spot. This is drying it up though. But what's up?
66 equals 22. We missed the sign. What was last year? 2019.
2019.
All right. I'm not gonna write anymore because my writing's horrible.
And we thought we was ready for 2020.
Right. So 2019.
You're right, 2019.
We missed the sign. 2 plus 0. Oh, that's nice. Plus 1 plus 9 equals 12. If you go back and look at the 666, 666 equals 12. I'm sorry, not 666. 66. Sorry, 66 equals 12.
That's that new numerology. Watch out there now. It's that new math. That's that common core numerology.
12 plus 12 equals 24. 24 divided by 4 equals 6666. So we missed the sign that all this stuff was coming in.
Mm.
So I just turned 50 this year. And I was thinking, I'm like, okay, so in numerology, when we do the one of the systems we use is we know that you'll have a different stage of life from birth to 25, from 26 to 54.
Hold on, let me get our heads back in here.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm already bald out. 0 to 25, 26 to 54, 55 to transition. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure you got your EA, Entered Apprentice, Fellow Craft, Master Mason. So, me turning 50, that means the devil child turned 54. It's a celebration. And what's happening, I don't know if it's an actual person or if it's an actual energy. Turning 54, 2020, 2021 enters into the last transition. All right. So like I said, I don't know if this is an actual person or actual energy, but if I go back to looking at stuff like the recent shooting, you know, in Kenosha, or if I look at what happened in what was it, Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
George Floyd, and the police officer, they looked like they had some type of walk-ins. Like when the guy shot him, right? He shoots him, and then he looks to the side like something was controlling him.
Mm.
So I don't know if it's energy force, which I really think it is.
I did my cards. It said it was the energy on the planet, honey. But
Okay.
that's tarot.
So, you know, the thing that we see now, and I know I went through that fast and I did it on purpose because I'm not supposed to be teaching anything.
You
So,
did great, by the way.
but
I did a reading before today, too.
what did the reading say?
It said it would go well and be insightful.
Okay, amen.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're seeing with Trump is that he's actually doing a ritual. People saying he was sick. I said he wasn't sick. My father was like, oh, Michael, whatever, you know. But it's actually a ritual going on. The hidden magician, what he has in his chart is the Aldebaran star of Taurus. When you have this star in your chart, you're very successful. You'll be wealthy, lucky, according to astrology. So,
And he has Leo ascending. Leo ascending is probably only ascending because we love Leos, but ascending is one of the most narcissistic, self-imposed, idealistic type of individuals. And that doesn't mean he's a bad person, but it helps you understand his direction and why he does things the way he does.
hold on, that's my sign.
Sorry. You Leo ascending?
Yeah, it's ascending and descending.
Not surprised. Cancer, sun.
You know.
Okay, that's another time.
Mm.
So,
Even Bono, he said.
so knowing that 2021, which is the, like I said, the year we already hit, according to the fiscal year, the financial year. Most of us go by the Gregorian calendar, which is January 1st. It'll be a year of mental power. If you know who you are, according to whatever chart, if it's astrology, numerology, this would be the time for you to get deeper into the sciences. The reason I presented this is because we as Black folks are very powerful. You know, some people might not think so, but damn them. Here in Milwaukee, known as the hyper-segregated community, in actuality, it's like a sun. We're all in the northwest corner. Masons should know something about the being in the north. It's our time. Even though we're going through the corona, right? You see in the switch, like the Babel Tower falling.
Mm.
It's pretty much over. It's getting to the point where we're at an equal playing field if we know how to play these cards. And you know, we have the sciences. We just got to get back into the sciences. Like I said, numerology is the first science. To me, it's the easiest because I don't follow the stars, and I definitely can't play music, geometry, you know, all this. Nah. So I can do 1 + 1 and divide and multiply and subtract.
I can't.
So we're that we can make some stuff happen. Got to do it collectively. And like I said last time, get with your group of people and make some stuff happen. It's that time.
So is this something that is taking place right now and we're going to eventually see it in a couple years, or are we in it right now?
Yeah, so with like the number 4, 2020, number 4, it's like the foundation. The Christian mysteries say 14 is the foundation of the of Christ, right? So we're at that foundational spot. 5 would be 5 is a number. If you look at how numerology is set up, 5 is in the middle and it touches every number. So it's a building process. It's not like most people, they want it to happen right now. It's not going to happen like that. It's going to be a gradual, like any type of business, building a house. It's going to be a gradual process. And like I said, I know we want it now. We're in a state that people want to go back to normal. Normal wasn't normal to me because it was a rough way of living. We got major opportunity. It's in the, in our charts as far as numerology. Haven't heard too much from astrologers yet, but we're doing the numbers on our part. It's our time.
Astrologers, let's get it together, y'all. Other question is, how can one prepare for this? How?
One thing I always say when asked that question is to start where you're at. But for this time, I say, you have to get your chart to know how to move with the energies that are happening. All right.
So you're saying they got to get a birth chart done? You mean like a birth chart?
Birth chart, a numerology chart, to something to know where you're at and how you can move with the energy force. Because what a lot of us do, we think one size fit all. In numerology, you got 1 and 2. They're two different entities. But one is more of a leader, could be self.
That's me. I'm a 1, by the way. Sorry, I just got to put it out there. 2, 8, 1. Tell me my bad part too.
So they could be but have low self-esteem sometimes, or they could be too selfish. A 2 person is more of a partner. They got some type of leadership, but they're a partner. So they're not the same people. A 3 is different than a 4. And, every number has, like I said, a unique value. And so it's best for you to go find out what your value is, right? And if you know what your value is, you can move through what's going on. You might be a teacher. We know the number 8s, especially we tell women right now, if you have a number 8, you have business like quick. You know what I'm saying?
I just did a reading for a number 8. She was contemplating that.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we're using the sciences, and we're hoping that more people get into sciences so they can help us uncover what they're doing. But like I said,
do you have any websites where you can have people go or any information so they can get this? Right.
So the numerologist that taught me his information, I think it's I hope I'm right, the Society of Numerology. I hope that's it. Lavelle Rozier.
Okay.
He's been studying since 1966, 54 years.
Is he the dude? Is he the damn?
Right. The devil child.
No.
So he's been studying since 66. Very wise. He just sent me something I listened to at 3 o'clock this morning about 2021 that got me kind of motivated to keep going.
Well, what did he say?
As far as the mind, we're in the mind science, the power of the mind, what you think. And I guess, some of the good places you could go is.
Does he talk about like manifestation?
That's about it.
Actualization, realization?
That's especially for if we're beginning at the stages, those are the best places to go find information on that, because what you say is live and popping right now. We're fully into it.
So,
I
had a question.
What's up, G?
It left my mind. I keep having the same question. It keeps leaving my freaking mind. Based on your expertise, your forecast, what is happening now? Where are we headed?
Well, we know
economically, etc.
We know what we're done with economically. It's about to be ugly once everything lifts up and we find out what's really going on. They keep on playing with our minds with the stock market. But you know, stock market is something different than the actual economy. Once stuff opens back up, you know, it's to a point where we got to do for self. And the whole thing is, one thing that's going to be a problem with us is many of us are going to get in the same businesses where we start competing against each other. Or we're going to have issues right there where there's a whole bunch of other things. What do we have? 38 million African Americans, and we're going to have to, you know, buy from each other, sell to each other before we go to other places. You know, we might not have any the raw materials. They probably come up with some laws which they're trying that's going to mess up the international trade. What was the question?
And I'm seeing, just to add on, because I think you're answering some of it, that there's a big move and a push to move back to Africa, to buy land, to move to some of the countries in Africa. Even some of the countries are accepting, what do you call them? Expats,
Expats, yeah.
Thank you, Bo.
They want them to repatriate.
Yes. Accepting them, allowing them to get free land, different resources. Is that something that you would suggest?
For some. For others, some of y'all need to stay in America because, you know, they don't need, I hate to say it like this, but they don't need problems that's in America and Africa. You know, those that are the actual builders that understand business and stuff like that will be a great help to Africa. One thing that people say is that they took all the resources from Africa, but one thing we know about Africa, the rivers have a lot of waterfalls. They're not deep. They don't have roads going like to enter Africa. So it's a lot of stuff still there. They might have took all the stuff, stole all the stuff around the coast, but Africa is still very underdeveloped, very plentiful. But it's a certain group of people should go over there. And what I'm seeing is you have people that go over there and think that it's going to be paradise. And they end up coming back because it's not, you know, you go into what they call a less developed country. It's not the thing, you know.
So we have a person who has lived in Africa.
Yes.
Yeah. Agreeing to that. Yeah. All right.
So, but the opportunity, especially, you know, one thing that I've argued a lot is that African Americans are the most valuable global players right now. We have the knowledge, right? All we got to get to is the resources for those that have the knowledge, get to the resources so we can actually build something, right? Because we learned their system. We got their system down. The whole thing is that they want to keep us from getting some of the benefits within the system. Competitive, very competitive.
But it sounds like the system is changing. So do we still need to be trying to do that? Should we be on some new shit? Like, how does that work?
I think we should be on some new shit. I say break the system, establish our own thing. Stop trying to fit into a system that wasn't designed for us.
I had this conversation earlier with a couple of people who were here, and it was on both sides. On one, it was like, master the system. That way you can get ahead. You can learn how they operate. You can do your shit. You can finesse it, and you can be on top just like them. And then work a new system. The other person was like, fuck that. Overthrow it. Let's create our own system. Let's do it from, you know, scratch, which can be more difficult, which can be a little more challenging. So I
Anything is challenging.
You know what I mean? But how do you, like, which way do you go?
But, you know, I think we already mastered their system, even with business, you know, but they call it crimes, right? Because, you know, I know somebody like big time, you know what I'm saying, made major money, did so-called crimes. And if you look at the criminal, what they call the criminal entity, and you compare it to the actual business, it's pretty much, you know, big business is pretty much the same thing. It's just a different. So we mastered their society. They know we mastered their society. That's why they make sure to get us off the streets. Those that are showing that they mastered their society, they're gonna kill us. You know, the first to go, they kill or they in prison, right? But what they realize now is a lot of us have been taught the system through them to where carry it on to where you have, you know, people in the entertainment industry or Robert F. Smith, and they doing major things.
Yeah.
So as far as creating a new system, you know, me being in the YBN, we had a system that, like you said, is very difficult. And what's going to end up happening, you'll see that some of the system is similar. And if you're not conscious, extremely conscious that you're creating something new, you're going to repeat what's already been created, and then you're going to end, or what's already been practiced, and then you're going to end up mistreating people, just like the system mistreats people now.
Which is already happening in all over Africa, all over the world.
It's happening, it's happening in Milwaukee with the politicians. You know, sorry. You know, once you get in a position, you see it that they just abuse their power. You know, they don't look at their what you call constituency.
Constituencies, yes.
Right, and they become renegades on their own.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, yo, we could take this mug over.
And I think in politics in general, and I just had this conversation yesterday, people go in with the right intentions, but they get swept up in that beast. You know what I mean? And it's tough.
Well, just recently, as a matter of fact, I think it was it had to have been today. Council member was basically kicked off the council here in New York for harassment of other council members and misappropriating funds. One, Mr. Eric King, known for his little fancy bow ties and his crazy outfits. Very colorful character. But he let that power, that political power, that influence go to his head, and now he's out on his ass. Which is what I think we should have more power to do with other corrupt politicians all the way up the chain.
Is he a person of color, Bo?
He is a person of color, yes.
And I think the rules, I'm just gonna think they're different, right? And so we get caught up in that hierarchy and think we can play the game like some of our other counterparts. No, different skin tone, different ramifications.
Right. Well, New York is known for getting we have corrupt politicians. Everybody has corrupt politicians, but New York is a special breed. Who was that? Sheldon Silver. He was once a very powerful man here in New York in the political scene. I think he's still in prison. I think he is still in prison. Yeah, I forgot what he did. I think it was either bribery or something. He did something. But New York, we put him away if we catch him. If there's like a sacrificial lamb, somebody's got to go, and usually it's the old man, and some young dude comes in, saves the day. You know how that goes. But anyway,
you know, I think it's important too, as far as, you know, people talk about the voting for the president. You know, which we know if someone, you know, that the president is selected, not elected. All right, and one of my arguments is since he has that military position as commander in chief, and we know in the military that people are selected. Anyways, on the lower level, if you're gonna vote, that's where it needs to happen, like in your city, your county, your state, and your senators. You know, I'm pretty, you know, if we ain't going third party, I pretty much don't vote. You know, we don't have a solid agenda. You know what I'm saying? We just out here like the politicians run as renegades, and we're voting as renegades until we get that agenda to put the people in, and we take a sheet from the Tea Party, right? Then we can put them in to where they owe us something, if that makes sense. You know, and that's just one of the things that if we hear, you know, ain't no need for them to keep kicking us in the ass, right? We need to utilize some of these tools, which some of us call working tools, to get stuff done, you know? Because in Milwaukee way, how many African Americans here? I know we were talking about 100,000.
A whole hell of a lot, honey.
Yeah, we were talking about
Shit.
getting 100,000.
In a great way.
Right, 100,000 voters to the polls, and if we could have got 100,000, and we had an agenda, we could have put our own politician in office.
Yeah.
Right.
Right, but see, here's the thing. I hear you saying that we need to collectively get a platform, right? Which means we need to get people involved, which means we need to break voter apathy. But in the same breath, you mentioned not voting.
Correct.
How can you get them involved in the process from top to bottom?
One thing I said in the two is we don't have a collective agenda. That's why I don't vote. If we have
And what would constitute a collective agenda? One you agreed with, or just an agenda?
collective agenda, I don't have to agree. If
All right, that's fair.
51% say we're going this way, let's go. You know?
And you have to marshal, you know, sort of like a grassroots, sort of like a Bernie Sanders kind of thing to get that caucus, I believe is the word, going. But I mean, that's something that everybody needs to work on in their own, like you said, locally,
right.
From the community level, like Obama did back in his first run, when he started all of his stuff at the community level and got that grassroots going. If that's something that people want to do, then we got to enact those things in our localities. And
I think, and this is my personal opinion, I really do think that the localities will become more of a thing in the future. I think this country is going to break up, and each of these states and areas will be its own little country, like most of the other continents. It makes sense fiscally, financially, and maybe with some of the other records. I don't know all the different contracts they have in law with the American Indians and the Moors or whoever else they done fucked over. But with those contracts coming up and them trying to best work around it. You know what I mean? Strategy-wise.
right.
So I think something will change. I do.
Well, yeah. Trump is already attempting to. I'm not sure if Milwaukee is on there, but he's enabled a number of cities. What do you call them? Anarchist jurisdictions.
Yeah.
So he could defund them. New York, Seattle being a couple. DC, I think. Anywhere where there's big Black Lives Matter protests.
So
He's trying.
Quick vote.
Yeah.
President.
What I think is going to be the next president? Woo! I know who I want it to be, but I think Trump's going to steal it. I think there's going to be major controversy. I think there's going to be, there won't be a peaceful transfer of power.
Berkley.
I don't believe so. I think we're going to have a problem.
Yeah, I say Kanye West, not play.
You can't do no worse. You know what? Let me not say that.
I think they're going to select Trump again. Looking at the numbers of Biden, he has some good numbers as far as numerology. And going back to the last election, so we predicted that Hillary Clinton would win on the day of the election. They made the call the next day, which showed that Trump would win. Right. So now we're looking at, like I said, we're in that year of the hidden magician. You know, they doing the tricks. You know, my man gets, like I said, he gets sick. I'm like, yo, dude ain't sick. He doing a ritual. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I saw him talking. He didn't look very well.
Yeah, he took that orange stuff off.
Yeah, he didn't look very well at all. But hey.
But you got him living, Bo. He's your pick. So you got him making it through.
No, he's not my pick. I'm telling you what I think is gonna happen. He ain't my pick. Don't ever put that in the wire. I get what you said, though. I'm just being Bo. Don't mind me.
No, but I agree. I think he's definitely gonna continue on with what he started. It only makes sense. 4 years.
Well, here's the thing.
For anybody to do anything.
Here's what we're not qualifying, though. Because I am a bit of a, I wouldn't say junkie, but I do watch the talking heads, and I understand certain points. Trump right now really has got his base alone. Now his base didn't win him the presidency last time. It was those I can't vote for Hillary voters or third party voters. The ones who didn't vote for Hillary but voted against Trump. Which is a lot of that's gonna happen this time with Biden. Everybody's going to be a vote. People I've heard, Republicans in numbers heretofore unheard, saying that they will cross party lines and vote for Biden instead of putting the country in another 4 years of this cat's hands. I've never heard that before. And these are not just regular. These are people going on record saying, look, we can't do this. And we can't. Whether you are Republican, whether you are Democrat, this guy, this man, this person is bad for our country. He's been bad for our country internationally. Let's not even talk about civil unrest. Let's just talk about diplomacy. It's not been good for us. It's not been good for us around the world. We need to end it. But they're gonna do some tricky dicky shit. Watch, I'm telling you, they're gonna do some tricky dicky shit, just like they did with. Remember all them years ago with Gore and Bush?
Yeah.
With Chad in Florida. Yeah, I foresee that happening. Like, but maybe Corona will do us all a favor.
I think Gore and Bush was a test for this year of what's to happen with the mail-in voting and all the other shit that they doing and mixing.
Yeah. And I think that's another reason why they try to hurry up and stack this Supreme Court so that they have another vote for when they challenge the election later on in the year. They're trying to hurry up and get that in there.
Get that influence in there. Yeah, I mean, it's all strategic.
One thing we know, the black vote is split.
Black vote split on what? Trump?
Trump and Biden, the black vote split.
Maybe in Milwaukee, but not where I sit. Not in the circles I'm in. There ain't no split. I know.
I think there's some people that ain't telling the truth, Bo.
I don't know those people.
They just ain't told you.
What is there to choose? I don't understand why anybody. What is there to choose from this person? He's. I don't get it. What is there? What is there? What is it? Am I the only? Am I living in a bubble? Am I the only one that sees him?
I think if you take away the media's influence.
No. Stop media. The media doesn't open his mouth and talk for him. I'm talking about the words that come out of his mouth.
And if you take away the media's ability to commentary on the words that come out of his mouth and just
but the words I don't
comes out, Bo.
I don't do that. I think for myself.
All day, Bo. You're transparent. You're direct. A motherfucker knows what you're saying and what you mean. At the very least, and don't get me wrong, I don't fuck with Trump. But at the very least, the motherfucker is transparent. He's fucking honest. You know what the
No, that's not honest. That's duplicity. That's the Bullworth. Remember Bullworth? Remember that movie Bullworth? Remember that movie Bullworth where the guy he just started so-called telling the truth and he won the presidency when he just gave up, he got apathetic. I think it was Warren Beatty. That's what Trump's doing. He's pulling a Bullworth.
Say Warren Beatty?
Warren Beatty played the character, yeah. He played the character in the movie Bullworth.
Okay.
Yeah, but Trump's pulling a Bullworth. He pulled the Bullworth. He's just saying what his racist ass base wants him to say. That's how he got them.
Obviously, but if you understand, the man has funded different parties, and we gotta go. But he's funded different parties over the years. He ran independently from a party when he first ran.
When?
Ego. Again, he's Taurus and he's Leo. His ego and his drive is what creates all this other stuff because he wants to win. He's a winner.
He is not a winner. How is it you a winner when every one of his businesses have been bankrupt?
Because he understands the fucking system. Hello?
How is that? But how is that winning when you've lost?
If you win.
He hasn't won yet.
Okay, so
he keeps losing his business.
Words you lost, but he's able to strategize and manipulate the system so that he's winning. The motherfuckers. Money, influence, apathy, nepotism. United States.
Yeah, that's money, nepotism, apathy.
How's he not winning?
Politics. That doesn't mean that's good. That's not winning. You're still a piece of crap.
You could be a piece of crap all day. You winning in terms of how we view that shit. He's winning, and that's.
I'm sorry. I will never lay a W at that man's feet ever, and it has nothing to do with any media. That man has been that man is not persona non grata with me since ever. Since I was a little boy in New York watching that fool walk around, act like he owned the fucking place. Fuck Donald Trump.
Sold him that building at Pennsylvania Avenue. What'd you say about
that?
I ain't know better. You know, the stuff came out about.
No, he ain't. Listen, if you're a politician, you lying. If you're a politician, I don't trust you. That's it. But that's the cut. But see, this is where, and I agree with you a bit about that third party statement you made. But the problem is that the Democratic and the Republican Party have these holes on people's ideologies that they're not allowed to think third party. And when you start voting third party, you really weaken the already existing system that don't fucking work. So it's sort of like a catch-22.
Yeah.
Now, what do we do to fix it? That's why I say destroy it. But of course, nobody wants to destroy it because everybody likes what little stability we have. And if we destroy it, the stability will be gone, and then everybody's afraid. Naturally.
Nobody wants to think for themselves. Nobody wants that stability. I think I just had this conversation. This is all tying in. This is insightful for me. But yeah, nobody wants.
Yeah, absolutely. No, they don't. They want somebody else to think for them. They want the responsibility for somebody else if something goes wrong.
That's it. And that's where you get the downfall, the man who has to take the heat for whatever the big corruption was in that particular thing, business, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm on a tangent. We got to go. We appreciate you. We appreciate Berkley breaking it down. Somebody was born in 1966, honey.
I think with all this,
we got to find
honey. Got to find this fool.
And rectify it. Meanwhile, get our shit together. Stay positive. Stay prayed up, faithful, spiritual, whatever your thing is. Do it. Do self-care. Be well. It is trying times, and we are just trying to survive and live through it.
All right, amen, somebody. Pass the plate around.
Hey. G-Spot me, baby. Cash App. Collection.
All right.
All right.
Be black next week, y'all.
Black, baby. We'll check you out later, Bo.
All right, baby girl.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace.
Gspot.com.